Dynamic leadership for team performance. Today we will be discussing this topic. This is a short presentation and I'm sure I'm going to make it very interesting once you come with those examples that has been elaborated. Let us proceed with the presentation aptly titled Dynamic Leadership for Team Performances. Number one, we need to understand what is team performances and how do we define the leadership thereby. So let us understand team leadership. High performing team needs a leader who is not only a facilitator but also an enabler for all the staff, all the employees within the team as such. So remember, this is what high performance team requires: a leader who is not only an enabler but is also a facilitator. A leader must recognize and react to the regression in the team. If there are anything that is going wrong with the team, the leader has to manage the emotion of the team members, thereby make ensure that the synergy is always maintained. So let us understand the role of a facilitator or an enabler. Set clear direction. Get out of the way to set the clear direction. You need to tell exactly what we are looking out here. Eliminate distraction, guesswork, politics, and needless talk. Now, this is what happens in the team. You work as a team, you work as a group. There would be always a time wasted that comes around it. There would be issues that will always be bothering us. So, remove such kind of roadblocks. Keep everyone on the same page and pointed in the same direction as the case might be all about it. Facilitators and enablers set clear direction. Get out of the way, eliminate distraction, guesswork, politics, and needless talks that comes around. Remove the roadblocks. Keep everyone on the same page and pointed in the same direction as the case might be all about it. Yes, being a team leader, you are only as good as your team. You are only as good as your weakling in the team. You have and you need to ensure that every team member is working to the complete potential. So high performing teams always start with a proficient leaderships. Now this is what we need to go around it. Remember, team itself, there are no word called I around it. There is no I in the team. It is everybody inclusive that we need to understand. Leadership skills is to develop structures, clearly communicate, as the pictograph will show it to you to let you understand what is this leadership skill that we need to uh, educate or illuminate. Now this is what we need to have: a proper structure. You look at the pic. It is proper structured. Everybody is working in tandem and everybody knows their specific roles and duties. There's a clear communication which has been there. It is led by an example. Encourage trust, provide motivation, and be reliable out at the end of the session. So develop structures, clearly communicate, lead by example, encourage trust, and provide motivation, be reliable as the case might be all out here. So develop structure, management plan, what we call about the PMP as a case scenario. The project management plan will always tell you about everything that in details, the milestone that needs to be achieved. It will ensure what are the duration, where are the resources, who are responsible in fine prints. Absolutely, that WBS would always be there. When I say work breakdown structure, everything will be broken down. The work will be broken down to a job. The job will be broken down to uh, each task that we are looking into it. The tasks will further be broken down into activities as the case might be. So one is PMP, project management plan. The other one will be WBS or work breakdown structure. Nevertheless, never underestimate the fact that OBS will also be there. Remember, OBS is organization breakdown structure. It is the periphery of influences that people have to be enjoyed upon it. Who is going to look after which all the areas of expertise that has been there? That is what organization breakdown structure. It is basically focusing on the responsibilities of each person then thereby. So now talking about responsibility, the responsibility assignment matrix. This is the most pertinent thing because this, if not clearly defined, a lot of conflicting situation might arise. And most importantly, there's a clarity as to what is expected from a particular job, from a particular person, from a particular position. So responsibility assignment matrix, I think, is the most pertinent thing. Now remember, what I'm talking to you, I am talking about these structures in a project, these structures in an organization. So if this is to be done, the project management plan, the work breakdown structure, the organizational breakdown structure, the responsibility assignment matrix, once this work had been assigned, duly assigned, clarified, defined, and so on and so forth, now is the time where we need to go for a baseline structure as the timeline by which of certain work, tasks, as activities needs to be completed. That is what we talk about, the baseline budget, the project specific procedures that comes around it, as what has been decided upon. This is what we are looking for, is to develop the structures thereby. Remember, if you have understood this particular slide, it becomes very easy to come forward with whatever the work that has been assigned as far as the leaders or team leadership is concerned. So let us understand one of the factors of leadership is all about communication and the clarity in the communication. The communication as a project management plan is concerned is a part which needs to be integral part of it. The project management plan, the communication, the way it's been communicated, what has to be communicated to whom, also information has to be percolated to. This, remember, this needs to be understood time and again. We have the frequency and the recurring events of the communication that needs to be taking places. Now what we talk about frequency, at times of the changes, at times of the project, people have to be reminded. Probably nowadays it's been done on a mail. Probably there might be meeting which might be early in the morning, every morning, probably a huddle, or at the fag end of a week, as to what has been achieved in a week and what is going to be planned for the forthcoming week as such. So it depends on the frequency that the organization practices, the ethos that the organization actually preaches. So we should be very clear, we should be very consistent as far as communication is concerned. Communication should be repeatedly hammered every now and then. The common information repository. Now everything which has been discussed should be there. Earlier time it was always pasted on the notice board, but nowadays it is no longer there. You have your intranet or FTP site that comes around it. The SharePoint, FTP is file transfer protocol site that is always there. And most importantly, keep your eyes and ears open. Be a good listener. Understand perspective. Understand what is happening and why is it happening in the first place. This is what is very relevant as of today's world is concerned. So lead by example, roll up your sleeves. Definitely yes. Take responsibility as on when on basis. When it is in the work as a leader, you should be working as a part of the team. It is not that you are directing and instructing everybody. Roll up your sleeves and get involved. That is what we are talking about it. Be responsible, be truthful, be honest. And if things are not going the way, your way, accept those failures, because at the end of the day you are going to look forward to a creative solution. And this is what we are looking at it as a leaders, it is creating solution. And believe me, when I say roll up your sleeve, doesn't mean that you are going to get fully involved. You should not. There are people who like to hog on to the limelight or probably have all the powers of authority vested in them. Please do not ascribe to such kind of sentiments. Always try to delegate. In fact, I believe empowering your team members is as fruitful as anything else. So delegate things, and most importantly, make them participatory in your decision making process. And that can only be done when you solicit information, solicit cooperation, listen to what they are actually saying, and most importantly, watch what you say, watch what you act, watch what you believe in, because your thought process, your statement will matter. It will impact the overall influence of the project. Now comes the next thing of being earning the trust. Now how do you earn trust? First, be yourself. Never try to impersonate so-called the successful leaders, Please be yourself, be honest, be transparent, share some of your personal life. Now, once you start sharing some of your personal life, it becomes people are going to see you as a transparent person. People are going to identify the tribulations and the failures as with their own. So that is what we are looking into it. Now, as a team member, there might be events which might have you might achieve certain milestone. At every milestone that you achieve, at every successes, celebrate them, no matter how small or how minuscule the celebration is, or how minuscule the success is all about it. But in cases of failure, you need to motivate the staff and be direct and be state what you are believing in, what you think as of what is gone wrong. Never be diplomatic, in the sense be direct and be it in a crisp, clear, assertive tone that you need to go around it. At the same time, you should not hurt the sentiment of the person. You should always be talking about the work, talking about the situation that has gone out of hand, but do not, I repeat, do not attack on the dignity of the individual. So listen more and talk less is the fundamental mantra that I assume that all my audience would be appreciating about it. Remember what team member tells you. Each point, every point, if possible, remember their names, recall their names. This will sense of pride in them if you, as a leader, know them by their names altogether. So let us build a transparent and a trusting team workers, team members among the organization. Next best thing is to provide motivation. As a leader, be humble as on one on working around it. Set clear goals. Communicate your wisdom. Uh, Now, your wisdom is how you look, see things altogether. The goals, the overall vision. This is what your wisdom. You as a leader, you should have certain qualities which probably the normal mortal, or should I say, your employees or followers not possessing. Only then there will be a superiority or inferiority complexes that can determine a certain amount of gap between our leaders and the employees thereby. So set clear goals, communicate the vision, empower our people to achieve, show them the pathway as to achieve that vision altogether, provide support as on when on requirement. Look at the bricks that I've made with you is the motivation fact that comes around it. And every time people are doing the right path, doing the right instinct, even if the outcomes are not favorable, motivate them, show appreciation, have fun, have a fun time with them, enjoy with them, say thank you as often as possible, say please every now and then. Saying please and thank you doesn't demean you, or doesn't absolutely put you into a different light altogether. So provide motivation, set clear goals, I repeat, communicate the vision, empower people, provide support when needed, show appreciation, have fun, and say as often as possible thank you. This will actually encourage all of your team members to work in tandem with one another. But is that fair enough? No. The thing that needs to be asserted about is to be reliable. Reliability will encourage building of bond and trust among the leaders and the employees thereby. Keep your promises, say whatever you want to say, and then walk the talk. Whatever you say, you should stand by it. Be consistent, be punctual. As on when on basis, you should lead by example. Please understand, as a leader, if you don't set the right example, people are not getting to get motivated in the first place. People are not going to build trust among themselves. People are not going to believe in you, in your vision. So be reliable, walk the talk, be consistent, be factual, be punctual, treat everyone with dignity. And as on when on people, even if people are not asking for it, give them assistance. This is what we are looking forward to it all the time. That is what we look forward. So be reliable is the last thing that you need to keep up on it. Now, what happens with regression? There is not everything that goes goody in a team meeting and a team working all together. There are people who might be backstabbers. There are people who will be dysfunctional. So watch out for them. Watch out for this sign. Team performance may go backwards, or there might be dysfunctional units. Things might be happening regressively. So watch if there is a change in membership, watch if there is a change in participation in the leadership, or for that matter the way things have been proceeding as far as the achievement of goals and directions are concerned. may need to step in more, change coaching style, goal clarification and role clarification. We should always talk about conflict management. That is what we are looking out here as far as regression is concerned. So watch out for these signs. Watch out if things are not progressing in the way that has been designed to. In case if it is there, sign out, find out. And to find out, you have to have that capabilities of listening skills. Find out the problem by listening of what people are actually saying it. You should always listen. You should always watch it with your own eyes and have a first hand information report as to what exactly has been happening around it. So we will be talking as on when on basis. So we may need to step in with this. One, what do I say about may need to step in is now is the time you have to change your coaching style. Now is the time you need to understand that people are not been viewing as a transparent person, as a reliable person, as a trustworthy person. You need to change that thing. You need to bring in a new effort, put in a new effort to ensure that the team does not lose its essential goals that has been there. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you for watching this video.